In this shocking footage, a young woman can be seen levitating above the ground. The girl is in a trance-like state, and her eyes roll back into her head. She's not tied up or restrained in any way, yet she's inexplicably suspended off the floor. Is this a miracle? Has she unlocked the secret to anti-gravity? Could there be another explanation? Her legs flail in the air and she lets out some blood-curdling screams. People try to bring her down to earth, but it seems like she's incredibly heavy and they can't move her. Some of them are now starting to get scared, and we can hear someone say, "Get off of her." Her eyes are wide and staring, and her mouth is open in a silent scream. She turns around and stares directly at the camera. Her eyes are now glowing red. Everyone gasps in horror. Then she lets out a blood-curdling scream. The video cuts off before we can see what happens next. She's moving very slowly, like she's under a spell. Then suddenly, she collapses onto the floor again. This time she's lying face down and totally still. The people who witness this are ecstatic. They cheer and clap because it looks like the ritual has finally come to an end. Perhaps they want the spirit inside of her to be cast out. Whatever it is, they know they need help. The boy's name was Robbie Mannheim, and he became the focus of a massive media circus. When news broke that he had been possessed by the devil, Michelle was born in Canada in 1947. When she was just 13 years old, she started experiencing strange symptoms. She began having seizures and speaking in tongues. Her parents took her to see a priest who performed an exorcism. But in many cases of demonic possession, the spirit doesn't leave the person. Sometimes the spirit is banished, but other times it simply goes into hiding. We do not know what happened to the girl after the video ended, and we do not know if she's still possessed. It seems like something that would only ever happen in a movie. Just because we can't explain something doesn't mean it isn't real. Whatever's going on with her, it doesn't seem to be good. If she is possessed, I hope that she gets the help she needs. But that's all we can really say. We don't know the full story here. All we have is a video and a few details. The rest is up to our imagination. We shouldn't dismiss things that we don't understand as simply impossible. Instead, we should keep an open mind and be willing to learn. Who knows what we might discover? The truth is, we can't be too sure. There are things happening in our world that we don't understand. We're constantly discovering new things that challenge our understanding of reality. But one thing is for sure. This is a terrifying clip that will stick with viewers long after they've watched it. It can lay low until the person is weak or vulnerable again, and then it can come back and possess them once more. It worked at first, but Michelle soon began exhibiting the same behaviors again. She continued to have seizures and speak in tongues. And while you're at it, be sure to stay up to date with all our future videos. Thanks for watching. Michelle was eventually placed in a psychiatric hospital where she remained for many years. Robbie was just a normal kid until one day he started acting out. He began levitating, moving objects with his mind, and speaking in tongues. His parents were terrified, so they took him to see a priest. The priest performed an exorcism, but it didn't work. Robbie's behavior got worse and worse. Eventually, he died. Although it sounds crazy, many people believe that Robbie was truly possessed by the devil. We have to go back to 2017 to find this terrifying clip. She was possessed by an evil spirit, and that's what caused her to lift off the ground. There are probably many more that went unknown or unreported, so it's not too far-fetched to think that the girl in the video was possessed. But if that's true, then where did the spirit go? And I know it sounds far-fetched, but there have been cases of demonic possession throughout history. But if it is, what's going on here? Is this girl possessed by a demon? The spirit could be waiting for its chance to re-emerge. There are so many videos online of girls levitating, and it's impossible to tell which ones are fake and which ones aren't. For example, take a look at this video. On the surface, it looks like a girl is levitating above the ground. But if you look closer, you can see that she's actually standing on a pair of invisible stilts. That's right. She's not actually floating. Instead, she's using a simple trick to make it look like she is. How did this happen, and how was she freed? These are questions that have a lot of people talking. In the video, we can see a group of people standing around a bed watching in amazement as a young woman seems to float above the mattress. Everyone in the room is stunned, and some are even frightened by what they're seeing. Maybe she's using wires or a fishing line to suspend herself off the floor. But that would mean that there's someone else controlling her. It seems like the girl in this video is really levitating. that's the only explanation. But why is she doing this? Someone has rigged up this whole system to make it look like she's levitating. One person says, "Oh my God, oh my God," while another asks, "What the hell?" They all appear to be friends and family members gathered together for some reason. But they certainly don't expect to witness anything paranormal that day. After a few moments, one of them asks, "How the hell is she doing that?" And that's a great question. This really does seem like something straight out of a horror movie. So how is she floating like this? What kind of witchcraft is going on here? And why do these people seem so afraid? As the video progresses, the possessed girl begins to thrash around. As the video goes on, the situation gets crazier and crazier. The girl is spinning around in the air like a giant pinwheel. Looks like she's going to crash into the ceiling fan above her. At this point, the people in the room are shouting for her to come down. They're calling her name. But it doesn't seem to be getting through to her. She's not listening. Then just as quickly as she started floating away, she comes crashing back down to earth. As the girl falls, the people in the room panic and dive out of the way. She lands heavily on the floor with a loud thud. To their horror, she immediately gets back up again and starts advancing towards the camera. People run for the hills. You can hear one of them say, "Oh my God," as they desperately try to escape. The girl looks like she's completely insane. But then the possessed girl does something that no one was expecting. This footage is crazy. It's hard to imagine that this could be real. The scariest part about this video is that it might be real. In the case of the girl who was levitating in the previous video, it might be something similar. If that's the case, then why haven't they been caught in the act? Why doesn't the video show us whoever is pulling the strings? Well, if you believe the reports, this girl wasn't doing this on purpose. She didn't choose to levitate. Take, for example, the exorcism of an 8-year-old boy in 1949. There are also cases of demonic possession that have occurred more recently. Take, for example, the story of Michelle Remembers. These are just 2 cases of demonic possession that have allegedly happened in recent times. At the end of the video, we see that the girl collapses onto the floor. So although the people in the video might have thought that they were free of the spirit, that may not be the case. There are a lot of questions surrounding this video, and we may never get the answers. It's amazing to think that something like this could happen in real life. It's possible that there are forces at play that we're not aware of, forces that allow things like levitation to happen. That being said, let's hope that this girl is okay. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you believe that this girl was levitating? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.